That deer's been around all morning since I've been here. So Animas Forks was founded in 1875 with maximum population of 114, and they've got a jail. That kind of lets me know what kind of people were here. And you wonder sometimes people back in the day were better people than they are now. I'd venture to say that I kind of knew what these people were up to. I bet some of the men were drunks, some of the men were gamblers, some of the men were running around on their wives. There were some people who were begging God for forgiveness, trying to live a moral life in accordance with God's word. Kind of know that. So in reality, they're not that much different from people today. There really ain't much to this cabin. Man, were people shorter than now? I mean, this doorway is like 5'8". There's a flue for a wood stove, wood heater. That was the only source of heat in this place. Can imagine how cold it got. This is interesting. They got French lap shingles on this place. Let's see what it looks like. Looks like somebody else just drove up. Thought I had the place to myself. Even back in the day they had an open air concept. Oh, I like the fireplace. The rooms aren't very well defined like we would think about today's terms. Let's go up here to this one. And then we'll go to that nicer two-story one over there. Elevation 11,000 and something. And when the money ran out, whether it was the silver prices or the silver became too hard to mine, that's when the people left. Don't vandalize the place. That's the summary. Wow, these folks had a view. I think that kind of shows that even 150 years ago, people enjoyed a good view. Just like today. They may not know why, but they want to understand why is some places so beautiful. And why are we attracted to it? Well, I have a reason. I think I have the reason why. See, God made a beautiful world for us to enjoy, along for himself to enjoy. There's the old outhouse. Wonder who cleaned that. They just had cardboard for insulation. That don't do much. Another flue pipe for a stove. Got a brick chimney hanging from the rafters up there. Looks kind of precarious. But I think that a lot of times people want to associate beauty with nature. And real understanding is that it's part of God. And we're attracted to it because naturally we want a connection with God. And coming out here seems like you can never get enough of it. And that's because ultimately this doesn't satisfy. It's part of God's majesty and God's character. But unless you have a relationship with God, this will never satisfy. You can't get enough of this. It's cool and it's amazing, but you can't ever get enough. And really our interests and thoughts ought to be toward God, because ultimately that's where life satisfaction comes from. There's another flue pipe. This one's in better shape. Must be on this side. Yep, that's where they ran the pipe out. This house is a little more Victorian looking. It's got a bay window. Wonder how old these window panes are. Somebody put some new wood in over the years. In my opinion, they ought to take a historic team out here and jack it up and level it up a little more. That'll give it some more life. But anyway, people often wonder, how in the world do I have a relationship with God? Well, ultimately you gotta come to an understanding that you're not perfect. You're not God. And that ultimately you need the saving power of Jesus Christ to enter that connection with God that ultimately satisfies. So here's a little piece of history. They enjoy beauty just like we do.